everybody. I'm talking to everybody like as if you're in the car with me. I'm paying attention to the road, my seatbelt's on, 10 and 2. So on Mother's Day, a friend of mine took me out to eat. And as we were waiting for the table, it was a pretty long wait because obviously they didn't prepare, staff prepared, but whatever. A father and his 2 children were walking by, his daughter and his son. The daughter was a little bit older than the son. And as they're walking by, the father says to the son, "You are 2 of the shittiest kids, I swear." And I was like, oof. Whoa. And he was like, "Thanks, Dad." And all I could think of was, they're either 2 of the shittiest kids he's ever, I guess, encountered, because A, the parents treat each other like shit, or they're picking it up from somewhere. Or it's not the kid's fault, but it is the kid's fault because they're at that age to where they're old enough to know better and they should have been taught a little bit better. But I was like, damn, that kid must have felt like shit because, he was called the shitty kid in front of strangers. The father didn't care, which is whatever. I've called my kids have been shitty. I love my kids to to the end of the universe, no end. But my kids have been shitty. I will admit that. But I have great kids. But I don't know. I was like, whoa, how? If you heard that, how would you feel about that? What would you say? Because Child Protective Services, no offense to my one friend who works for them, but shaking my head because they have immunity so they can make up whatever they want about you, even if it's not true. And that I know is a fact. It's not technically abuse. It's slightly verbal abuse. But if it's like if the parents are shitty towards one another, then the kids are going to pick that up. So it's like, whose fault is it really? The father should have taken a little bit of accountability, because if they're shitty, they're seeing it from somewhere. They're picking it up from somewhere. I tried my hardest to raise my children not to be shitty people, but I also raised them not to get bulldozed over by people. Don't let people take advantage of you, because people will. When they think that you have a good heart, they mistake your kindness for weakness, and then they try to take advantage of it. So that's, it's a catch-22. How would you feel if you heard that?